What if the Earth's moon was unexpectedly replaced by another planet? What if you woke up one day and saw the moon replaced by Jupiter, Uranus, or any other planet? The implications would be far-reaching and profound. Our planet's orbit could be altered, the tides could shift, and the weather patterns on Earth could be disrupted. While it may be fascinating to see a new planet in the night sky, the reality could be far less pleasant. In reality, the consequences could be severe. So what planet could we replace the moon with, and what would the ramifications be? And which planets could we safely remove our moon with? Let us try to answer these questions in this video. Hello and welcome back to Space Time. Subscribe to our channel and follow us. The moon is a fairly large object. It is actually roughly a fourth the diameter of the Earth, making it the largest satellite in relation to the planet it circles. The moon is also the only satellite that is proportionally larger than Pluto. So if the moon orbited the sun instead of Earth, we would regard it as a worthy planet in its own right. However, the moon's orbit is not exactly round. In actuality, Earth's orbit causes very minor perturbations, but that is a matter for another day. For the time being, suffice enough to remark that the moon is a large object with a significant function in our solar system. The moon is also necessary for life on Earth. It not only helps to regulate the tilt of the Earth, but it also stabilizes its orbit. As a result, the Earth's climate is fairly consistent and predictable. The moon also influences ocean currents in the circulation of nutrients. Without the moon, these critical processes would be interrupted, resulting in extreme weather patterns and catastrophic floods. In summary, the moon is necessary for life on Earth. The moon allows us to enjoy regular weather, stable sea levels, and a healthy environment. Now we can't just let our moon go on vacation and leave our planet alone. After all, nobody likes being alone. So we look for a substitute in our solar system. The Earth is a unique planet in our solar system. It not only supports life, but it also boasts a big moon that helps to keep its rotation stable. However, what if we switched our moon for a planet 41 times its size? The Earth would undergo a significant transformation. But before we get to that dramatic portion, let's speak about replacing the moon with Pluto, the smallest exoplanet. What if you awoke one day to discover that Pluto had replaced the moon? At first glance, it may not appear to be a negative thing. After all, both bodies are about the same size and have a similar reddish color. However, appearances can be deceiving. Although Pluto and the moon appear to be identical, their effects on Earth would be vastly different if they were swapped. For starters, Pluto is far smaller than the moon, thus its gravitational attraction is weaker. This would lead Earth to wobble all over the place, resulting in severe climate change and a slew of natural calamities. Additionally, the decreased gravitational force would result in weaker ocean tides. This would have a catastrophic impact on critical ecosystems that rely on the tides for existence. In sum, it would be a calamity of epic proportions. But what about a planet slightly larger than the moon? Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and discovering that the moon looks little different than normal. It appears brighter and bigger, yet it is barely apparent, especially when you are half asleep. You return to bed, unconscious that instead of the moon you have just seen Mercury up close. This planet, the closest to the sun, resembles our natural satellite. Its surface is covered with craters caused by space rocks. Mercury is around 2/5 the size of our planet, yet still slightly larger than the moon. That is why the planet will have a stronger impact on Earth. Nights would get lighter, high tides would rise, and low tides fall. The lunar cycle, which is the amount of time it takes for the moon, or in this case, Mercury, to complete all of its phases, would be reduced by 14 hours. Mercury is barely 1.5 times the size of the moon, and its surface is dark gray with asteroid craters. If Mercury were to take the place of our moon, it would seem identical. The impact of Mercury on our tidal systems and climate would be similar to that of the moon, thus replacing it would not be terrible. Replacing the moon with Mercury would be a wonderful idea because Mercury is a more stable planet and would present less challenges for life on Earth. Overall, it would be very similar to what we are used to. However, the same cannot be said of Mars, our nearest red planet. We would no longer be able to see the moon gleaming brightly in the night sky. Instead, Mars would loom huge, throwing an ominous red glow over Earth. Mars's stronger gravitational pull would reduce tsunamis while increasing normal waves. Furthermore, The tidal forces generated by Mars would delay the Earth's rotation, resulting in longer days. Although a 16-hour workweek does not sound appealing, it would be intriguing to witness how our environment would alter if Mars replaced the Moon in our night sky. Moving on, we have Venus, Earth's twin. Having Venus in the night sky would be devastating for stargazers. For starters, Venus is far brighter than the Moon, therefore it would reflect 60% more light than our natural satellite. This would prevent us from experiencing darkness, altering our sleeping cycles and posing a variety of issues for nocturnal creatures. Our familiar satellite would be replaced with the third brightest natural object in the sky. Venus would appear as enormous in our sky as Earth did to the Apollo astronauts when they looked down from the Moon's surface. For starters, the morning star would be far more visible than the Moon. The planet reflects 6 times more sunlight and would cover an area at least 16 times larger. That is why Earth's nights would be as bright as early twilight right now. If you gaze at Venus, you'll notice hazy swirling patterns in its yellowish-white cloud cover. Furthermore, Venus is 3.5 times the size of the Moon, forcing Earth to operate in a binary system. The two planets would most likely orbit a shared center of mass. This means that our planet will begin to rotate around Venus, causing chaotic and unpredictable weather patterns. Over time, the two planets are likely to collide or merge, resulting in widespread catastrophe and loss of life. What if instead of the Moon we had Neptune or Uranus? These two planets are both ice giants, similar in size to the Moon. If either of them were in our sky, they would occupy a significant chunk of it. And because they're both blue-green, they'd make the sky look extremely different. However, there is one additional significant distinction between Neptune and Uranus. Uranus stinks. Its moniker is the farting planet. No one knows for certain why Uranus has such a terrible odor, but it's most likely due to methane in the atmosphere. So if Uranus appeared in our sky, it would not only look weird, but it would also smell terrible. Of course, having Neptune or Uranus in our skies would have more than just aesthetic benefits. Because these planets are so massive, they will have a significant impact on Earth's rotation and tides. Beach houses would have to be placed on cliffs to avoid being washed away by massive waves, and it would disrupt the normal cycles of existence. My favorite thing to see in the night sky is Saturn. It would be quite a sight if Saturn replaced the Moon. Its delicate yellow tint and ring system would look amazing. However, there will be some obstacles. The planet is more than 35 times larger than our satellite. Thus, the massive golden globe would encompass 18 degrees of the sky. Its rings would extend even farther from horizon to horizon. Earth would be slightly further away from the gas giant than its own moon Dione, but because Saturn is far more powerful, Earth would become its satellite rather than the other way around. Unfortunately, Earth's rotating speed would be insufficient to keep up, and we'd most certainly collide with the much larger planet within a day or two. But before we could burn up in Saturn's atmosphere, we'd have to go through its spectacular rings. They are made up of comets, asteroids, and broken moons, so getting through them uninjured would be a difficult task. However, even if the fall had not occurred and Earth had continued to orbit Saturn, the Earth we know today would not exist. The gravitational forces would be altered, the days and nights would be extended, and the temperature would shift. In short, it would be a very different planet. Nonetheless, it would be amazing to see Saturn in the night sky, even if it meant saying goodbye to our dear Moon. Finally, we'll look at Jupiter. What if Jupiter replaced the Moon? Earth, like Europa, Callisto, and Io, would become Jupiter's satellite in the same way that Saturn was. Jupiter, which is 41 times the size of the Moon, is so large that the north and south poles are not visible. Replacing the Moon with Jupiter might have some fascinating repercussions. The gas giant is several of times larger than the Moon, thus a massive, brilliantly striped sphere would fill almost the entire horizon. If you had time to watch the performance, you would notice yellow, brown, red, and white clouds floating in Jupiter's atmosphere. Unfortunately, the gas giant's gravitational force would immediately trigger major earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. The Earth's mantle and crust would be dragged toward Jupiter, causing the planet to split apart. Jupiter's gravitational force would rip the Earth apart. In short, it wouldn't be attractive. So the next time you look up at the Moon, be grateful that it exists. Without it, we wouldn't be thinking about such lovely things. So replacing our Moon with other planets will not have a positive result. though the vista will be breathtaking, viewing the lovely planets in the sky instead of our moon. So what planet would you like to see in your night sky? Share your opinions in the comment area below. Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also make sure to turn on the bell notification so you won't miss any of our future videos.